hope you're ready for On the Record with Cindy. We're gonna dive deep into the vinyl, and let me tell you, this place has a lot of it. Go, come on, come on. Hi there, I'm Cindy McMullen for On the Record. I am at Off Center Records on Bleecker Street with John Keller. How are you, John?
Good.
Thanks for having me. Any idea how many records you have here?
We have roughly about 500,000 records of all genres. We have 3 floors, and we've been here for 24 years, so we've got a nice collection of things.
Are you noticing a resurgence in vinyl?
I hate to say the word resurgence because it's always been very strong here, even through the CD upswing. But it's always nice to see newer people getting into it, older people who are coming back to it. So, and more artists are putting out their stuff on vinyl.
So it's really turning into a nice family thing to do at this point.
Right. I mean, vinyl sales have well outsold CD sales in the past few years.
So, John, someone who is starting a record collection for the second time around, possibly, might need to bone up on how to take care of the vinyl. Do you want to show us how to do that and how to store them? And
Absolutely. With records, you would never store them flat. Always keep them upright in either in a crate or on a shelf or something like that. To remove it, you should always just grab it very lightly on the edge, pull it out until you can reach in and grab it underneath where the label is.
what happens if you touch the actual vinyl? What does that do?
There's always grease on your fingers. And you'll leave fingerprints. You may end up scratching with your nails. Most little digs don't bother, but
You don't want it to skip.
Right. So if you just as you pull it out, and you balance it, and then grab it with your other hand, and you would place it on your turntable. And sometimes the records become dirty if you get fingerprints on them or dust or things like that. There are products to use. One of them is the brush. A lot of the brushes, they're nice, like a Velcro.
Oh.
Like, that Velcro, but a felt.
Like velvet.
Right.
Felt, yeah, definitely. Okay.
And you can start, start by, just going within the grooves and brushing the dust off them. It's wise to do that when you take it out before you play it, and then before you put it back in, because of course while it's playing, the dust is settling. If you do happen to get a fingerprint on it, they do have cleaners, record cleaners.
Okay.
You can use that same brush or a different one.
Can you use just alcohol or something too?
You can, in a pinch. Most of your cleaners are mostly alcohol. Also the same for your CDs as well. It's mostly alcohol. Preferably use a 50-50,
Water it down? Okay.
Yep. And what you do, you take the...
Oh, so you put it on there. I would have put it directly on the record.
Best to put it on the brush, and then again going along with it both ways. You can see the wetness on there. Just make sure you're going along with the record, and then you can take the other side to dry it off.
Oh, so yeah, you did. You put it directly on one side, and then you turn it around and dry it.
Right. Other people have other methods. I mean, sometimes I'll hold it, and if it's really deep, you can rub deeper on it.
Right.
So, just where we started with a fairly clean record, it just and then you let it air dry a little bit. Never put it on your turntable while it's still wet. The needle, because that'll allow the even though it's wet, the dirt will get further into the grooves. And
That makes sense. And although we love album covers, there's a functionality to them, isn't there?
right. Well, of course, it protects the record.
Yes.
Album sleeves are great to hang up on the walls. And after you get through playing it, again, you would pick it up by the edge, slip your hand underneath where you're still holding it, and then you place it within the inner sleeve. Depending, you can take the sleeve out, put it upright, or
I've
pull it
seen
out.
people do that. Take it out, and so that the album won't fall out when it is standing up.
And then you can just safely put away back in your shelf or your crate or everything, and pull out your next one. Philco made a special record player that you could have in your car, take on the beach, that sort of thing. And they made these records. These are flexi records. They bend, and there's 2 songs on each one, and they would put them out so you can play records in your car.
I mean,
The record player would also, go on the beach, so you can play your regular records, but these were just, they were called hip pocket records, so they actually fit in your hip pocket.
Unbelievable. When was this?
This was roughly about 66 to about 1970,
Very interesting.
and various artists put them out. There are Beatle ones, which unfortunately don't have, but
Yeah.
Jay and the Americans, Tommy James and the Shondells, soul artists as well.
See, even way back in the 60s, people wanted to take their music with them. Well, David Bowie passed away this week after a battle with cancer. And John, you've come up with some David Bowie treasures here. Why don't you tell us what you came across?
Well, a few of these are, we have one of his early albums, The Man Who Sold the World. This is where Space Oddity came from. This is one of the covers. He had 3 covers for this album.
For one album, he had 3 covers.
Yes, in England it came with, he was on a couch in a dress. Another one was, it was a cartoon, an animated cartoon, and then a comic strip, and then this one here.
I'm surprised you have any of this left in stock.
Of course, this is one of his more popular albums, Heroes. Of course, one of his Berlin Trilogy albums. We have this is a TV program that he did.
Really?
With the Brock's Ball. Many people don't even realize this exists. And it's a televised. And then back in the 80s, he narrated the classical piece Peter and the Wolf, and
Wow.
released it on green vinyl.
Oh, wow. That will be quite a find for someone. Wow, interesting.
And then we have some rare singles. One of the first things that he ever released under the name David Bowie. He had several under David Bowie in the Lower Third and things like that. But this is an EP from England. 4 songs on it. So it was Do Anything You Say, I Dig Everything, I Can't Help Thinking About Me. As meant that says David Bowie in the Lower Third. And
Yes. That's on a 45 like that.
right. Oh, this is actually a 33 and a third.
A 33 and a third, okay. I can't believe there's 2 songs on each side. The ones I grew up with, there was 1 song on each side.
EPs were very, very popular, especially in the 50s and 60s, where you would pay the same amount for one song. You would actually get 4, or maybe pay just a little bit more. But
Boy, have times changed.
back in the 70s, he actually did this another. These are all imports. These are all from England. This is Space Oddity, one of his most famous ones. But this was called a Maximilian series. So you get 3 songs for the price of 2. So you're getting 1 single, so you get an extra song. And we have Changes and Velvet Goldmine on the B-side. Another early single, Love You Till Tuesday. I love these British ones because they're the choice. You can either play it on a small spindle, or you can pop that out for the regular.
Right.
And one single that didn't sell very well, and this is a promo copy of that. It's called The Laughing Gnome, where he, like the Chipmunks, he's singing to a sped up track.
Oh, interesting.
So that's some of the Bowie things we have,
And you have
many.
Yeah, you have a lot more than that as well here. So, his new album.
Black Star, which I'm currently sold out of, but
That went quickly. Do you think that sold so fast because of his death, or because people? I mean, truly, David Bowie is awesome. There's no way around it.
Right. I mean, when people put on an album, sometimes it stays around a while because I'll get it later. But in this case here, he passed away
A week after, right?
Not even a week. It was only 2 days after it was released.
Right.
And it was released on a Friday, and he passed away on Sunday.
Yep.
So it was it was taking everybody by surprise. So they just.
How did you have a large supply of that particular album?
Yes, I did, and I am currently sold out of it. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Will you be getting any more in?
Currently, they're on back order. I'm hoping that they'll repress them and send some more. But yes.
Okay. All right. Thank you.